Hey everyone, welcome to We Are Chattin, Penn State Brandywine's podcast. We're your hosts, Ava Clements.
I'm Natalie DeMario.
And today we are chatting with
Amanda Paez.
Amanda, it's great to have you here today. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So to get started, can you tell us, what led you to Penn State Brandywine?
Sure. So you're going to have to again, I mentioned that I was a little bit had a cold, so please
You're good.
hold it
No
against
worries.
me. So I moved here about 2022 from LA. I owned a grocery store, and we picked a house here in Media. And I would drive by, and I knew that I wanted to continue my education. And I was like, there's no way. Penn State, I thought this was the Penn State, right? I was like, oh my God, it's right here in my backyard. And then I started realizing, I was like, nope, that's a satellite campus, but it's still the whole thing. And it was kind of cool. And so I was like, oh, it's really cool that it's so close to my house.
Yep.
And that it's such the history and such, the behind Penn State and what they do, what they stand for is very well known because I lived in, okay, back a little bit. I'm from Texas, and when I graduated high school, I wanted to come out to Pennsylvania, but I didn't. I ended up enlisting into the military, but I knew Penn State, and so when I moved here, I was like, oh, cool, it's right here. This is great. And once I looked at the schedule and saw how it would start, it just flowed easily. It was so good to kind of come and see and to make my journey, and I was like, okay, I need to finish here. I got to continue, and they had the paths and business. That's what I was looking for, and I dove in. I think I started with 16 credit hours my first semester.
Wow.
Just I was hammering, my classes and to catch up and to try to finish and stuff. And so, this is how I found it, and I loved it. I've been here, and I hope to graduate soon next spring. That's the goal, but
It's great.
Awesome.
life happens. But
Yeah. And these branch campuses, they're awesome because they really do give you that full outlook into the whole Penn State atmosphere, but kind of in your own terms and on your own turf, your own environment. So It's really awesome. We're glad that you found here.
Yeah. And then it's actual there's a campus and there's dorms and there's a cool little cafeteria and stuff.
It's a full Penn State campus.
Yeah, I'm loving it. I was like, I can say, oh, I'll go to Penn State.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've got Media right by here too. Cute little town. There's lots going on around here.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah. Close to Philly, everything. It's awesome.
Great spot.
Awesome.
Love it.
So, how was the transition into college after being in the Navy for 8 years?
That was a rough one. So I was, 8 years after 18. I was about 20, 23, 24. Excuse my math, a couple of years. But at first, it was intimidating, I will say. When you step into a thing and you're coming out of the, service where you're very controlled and very, there's a lot of structure. And you come into school and it's trying to discover who you are and what you like and your passions. It was intimidating at first, I will say. It was, even here, I think it's so funny. I love to see the diversity that the campus has. I like to walk in with a notebook and a paper. And then my people next to me, my peers, are tablet and, recording and all these cool gadgets. And I'm like, oh, my pen is cool.
Exactly.
That was a hard transition for me to kind of take a step back and be like, okay, hey, look what you're at, what you're doing. You do have some experience. How can you apply it? And I did appreciate it, to be honest. I think that if I would have started college right after high school, and maybe this is a different perspective, but I appreciated it more. I was able to come in and say, this is, okay, there's the value in this, and I can put two and two together versus having somebody who's, not to knock anybody, but, a kid coming in not knowing about, the bigger things in life and what to expect. And so definitely just trying to figure out how to balance that and how to, not push your experience, but kind of be open-minded. And so it was fun. It was a good learning. I learned a lot. I learned a lot from my peers. I learned a lot about camera angles and all these things that you guys are so hip to teach.
Definitely. So, Amanda, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're a business major with a focus in accounting?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay, so what do you plan on doing with that after graduation?
I was thinking about this answer. I was like, I'm going to hang it on my wall. That's all I'm going to do because I've already accomplished X, Y, and Z. But actually, no, I as soon as I'm done, I do want to consider higher education. I really have opened a whole new outlook on an education. I really do want to pursue a master's. I think my dream is to have a DBA, doctor's in business, and that's always been something that I've always wanted to pursue. I am Mexican American, and I was raised in El Paso, Texas, which is, I'm not sure if you're familiar, but it's a border town, and that kind of diversity isn't seen there in that neighborhood and that kind of thing. And so when I finish my degree and I finish it, I want to pursue. I have the knowledge and the practical operational knowledge. I just wanted to have something concrete that I knew what I was talking about, and I'm educated.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and did that idea to pursue higher education, attending Penn State Brandywine, did that kind of help solidify that decision?
Absolutely. There's a program that it was a dual enrollment program, and it was like you can pursue your master's and your bachelor's at the same time. And that is what really brought me here, because I was a veteran student that I knew that would pay for my education. That was the whole point of enlisting, was to get the benefits. And when I heard that Penn State partners with Great Valley, like that was such a really cool thing to like cut the cost and really cut the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Coming from me and my age, it's like it's definitely it's time is of an essence, and I really wanted to make it the most useful. And so yeah, Great Valley and their master's program, that was something that I really tried to pursue. It didn't work out to my favor, but there was some loopholes that I had to. But I had some pretty high meetings with the people to see how they can integrate accounting, because Brandywine accounting and Great Valley accounting don't exactly match. But there was a lot of potential for that, and so having that opportunity and that option, I think, was fantastic as a kid.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear that they
Absolutely,
worked
yeah.
with you as well.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they were able to accommodate that. That's really great.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I loved it.
So, to our knowledge, we understand that you own a grocery outlet, Bargain Market.
Grocery outlet, bargain market.
Oh, I love that you know the jingle.
Oh, yeah, we've been doing the jingle.
Oh, okay.
We've been practicing.
Oh, yeah. Did you have to Google it, or did you know actually?
I knew it.
Did
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
Oh,
I knew it.
okay, okay.
Yeah, I hear it on the radio actually still.
Yeah, there's some
Yeah.
commercials every now and then. That's actually what brought us to Philadelphia, or to the media, right?
Yeah.
So we, my husband, just recently, because I wanted to pursue higher education, I did sell my share back, and so my husband owns it 100%.
Wow.
I still run my husband, so
Yeah.
definitely a thing. But yeah, so I do, and that just happened last month. So before that, I was definitely, still a part of that 100%. And yeah, no, we own a grocery store. It's definitely
Wow. That's amazing. So how's it been operating it so far?
it's been challenging. Yeah, but it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It's just when we moved here, there was a lot of cultural challenges that we didn't understand. We came from LA and Texas and military. And then we get to media, and it's Delco is your own culture. Let
Really
me
does.
tell you.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Like, you Delconians, you guys are just ride or die. And so having to learn that was definitely the challenging part for us. But now that we've been here and we're settled, like it's been fun. It's been fun to be a part of the community. And we tried. We were working last year to be part of the food bank. For the people here that needed, food needed. Insecurities
like
and
the
stuff.
social impact?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be
that's
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you guys launched a garden last year, and they were trying to get
Yeah.
some need, and so I had some meetings with some student liaisons, and so how could we support the community? But media doesn't have such a high need as other places, and so
Yeah, they do a great job over there. You can go and donate anytime you want. So
Yeah, and the garden's open on Wednesdays for harvesting, which is pretty cool as
Yeah,
well.
that is really cool.
12 o'clock to 1, right?
Yeah, not a lot of campuses offer that. It's pretty
Yeah.
special. I've actually had some cucumbers from there before, so would
It's
recommend.
good stuff. It's really good stuff.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's super cool.
Yeah.
I loved we tried to but even just food, like there was always the necessities, shampoo, conditioner, like there's some, it's not all about there's necessities and detergent, and how could we support students here and stuff that don't have the homes or actually live here. How could you do that? So,
Yeah, for sure.
I love that mission too, coming from, you've moved around a lot as well. So I'm sure you would know pretty well like what it's like to not maybe have access to everything all at once, or to moving to a new place and being a little bit lost. So I feel like that's really great for you to pass on to other students.
You have to. You don't realize the small necessities in life until you move out of your parents' house, and you're like, oh,
Right.
wait a minute, detergent. And then you realize, oh my God, it's like $25 for a thing of Tide or something.
Crazy,
and it's
kind of, yeah.
I know. Every time I go back home, I always steal a roll of toilet paper.
Right?
Just robbing the
Paper
store.
towels, yep,
Yeah.
yep,
Yeah,
absolutely. So Amanda, I can imagine like juggling academics, your business, your family life. It's tough. Like, how do you manage that all?
A lot. I had to take a step back. There comes a point where it's like, is it, what they're, not just that, we opened a restaurant. So I don't know if you guys are aware. So we do actually, my mom owns a restaurant. I'm her partner.
Oh, man.
It's in Swarthmore. So it's Luna's Mexican Grill, and we launched that back in March. So this year.
Wow. Congrats.
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
So let's just throw that into
Oh,
the
for
mix.
sure.
Absolutely.
Juggling $1 million over here. That's great.
I think the support, I think that's how I was able to get anything done. I think if you can truly look at your day and what you do and how much time is wasted doing things that are not productive, right? There's a lot of time in your day that can be switched to doing something productive, right? So like it was putting the phone down, not doom scrolling for hours because you can get lost in your, your social media.
Absolutely.
There's definitely, I think it's doable. It's just you have to be able to compartmentalize. That is how I think I was able to be like, okay, hey, in this moment I'm being mom, and how can I execute what I have to do for mom and dinner and planning and kids? And then it's like, okay, switching that off and going into business mode. And it's like, I had to learn really quickly to change to my environment and to be able to say, like, I'm more of a chameleon. I can, like, depending on my surroundings, it's like, how do you, go into boss mode or mom mode? And so changing into your environment, being open to change, that's one I think people need to get a little better at.
Yeah, definitely.
And then compartmentalizing and a lot of coffee. I love coffee.
Ava's a coffee connoisseur over here.
Oh,
You gotta tell
yeah.
her.
Oh, yeah.
What's your order? What's your order today?
Today, honestly, I did a green tea latte.
Oh.
Because I was like, it's
Changing
too
it
much
up?
caffeine, right? I've already had like 3 shots of espresso. I was like, I can't.
It's me on a daily basis.
Yeah, I can't. But the cinnamon grande latte, that's my thing. I like cinnamon. And so this time change right now with all the new drinks.
I know Starbucks holiday menu dropped today. Dunkin' Donuts holiday menu dropped. What was that? Yesterday, 2 days ago.
This war between Dunkin' and Starbucks here. Okay. Like, I don't understand that. I'm
So-
a West Coaster, Texas. I get it.
Okay.
When I moved here, it was like Dunkin', and then I was like, sorry, Dunkin'. But,
I'll have to take your back on the Starbucks over Dunkin'. But I'm more of a local small coffee shop.
Yeah.
And there's tons of those in this area, and they really hit home.
I agree.
They do.
100%.
They really do.
Especially in media. You can find like down such really great roasters.
Gosh,
and
yeah.
like,
Absolutely.
I
Tons
agree.
of them.
And once you go there, it's really hard to go back to these Starbucks and Dunkin'.
I do.
It is. It really is. It really is.
I agree. But I'm really feeling this protein menu that they have going on too. That
Right,
they
I
put
did
into
see
a
that. I did see
meal
that.
for me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, which is pretty interesting. Coffee's getting creative these days.
It is. It is.
I'm not complaining.
Yeah. So I understand you wear multiple hats at all times. Yeah. And so what would you say is your motivation behind all of this that keeps you going, keeps you operating, being partners in a grocery store, in a restaurant, a student, a mom? Like what is your motivation?
Well, me and my therapist have really dived into these kind of things before. I would love to say that it was my kids. As a mom, like I would love to say I want to be the best for my kids and do this and, blah, 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 bring out the best world. And that's true to an extent. But also it is just proving it to myself. You know what I mean? A lot of people who didn't believe in me, weren't there for me or didn't think that I could take it this far or, or how far I could go, right? I think it's a lot of internal dialogue with myself and pushing me through and to be better than yesterday. I think there's a saying in the Navy that the only easy day was yesterday, right? And so it's a saying from the SEALs and, my background in the Navy definitely was more around that kind of stuff. And so it's true, right? Like, doesn't matter what hard day you go through, the only easy day was yesterday. And like, you just get through it. Sometimes there's no other reason and just because it's the right thing to do, right? And so I think there's a lot of misconception with I think that's another conversation I was having with a buddy of mine is like these people who are very high functioning and definitely like high performers, but burnout is a really big thing. And I'm here to talk that burnout is a thing too. And it's the battle within to keep going, I think is what keeps me going per se, that I'm not done. Like I'm not done.
Yeah. You really just got to take it day by day, break it down and do your best,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's no other way around it.
So what would you say, like, one piece of advice would be, you know, when you were talking, you know, looking back to your younger self? What would you say?
One piece of advice that I could give, I would definitely talk about and really, I think mental health is definitely a thing. Protect yourself at all, I don't want to say at all costs, but protect yourself a little bit more, right? If you can't take care of yourself and you keep giving, that I think was something that I experienced a lot, you know, then you can't give any more because there's nothing left to give. But protecting yourself and being kind of having more of a notion of just being who you are and understanding who you are. Take the time. Don't rush. That's it. Don't rush. Right? Like a lot of people are rushing to finish these things and rushing to get to point A to point B to get the raises and to move these places. But be in the moment at that time. There's a lot you can miss, a lot of details that you can miss if you're not, you know, if you're not focused on being present. You know, that's a big one. Especially when I'm so busy, I have to devote specific time to something and tune out the rest. And so, and adapt to change. I think that's the hardest one that I've always been. You know, a long friend of mine had said that the most successful people are the ones that could just adapt to change the quickest, you know, and I've seen that with some of my colleagues and a lot of, you know, students. And in the Navy, there's people who are, it's literally called a thing called failure to adapt, right? So if in the military, you go into the military and you don't make it through, you get labeled as failure to adapt. And so there is a thing where it's like, if you can become mentally tough and resilient, then there's no stopping who you can be.
Wow.
Yeah, that's really powerful. And I think just, you know, college in general is a change. And I think no matter like what walk of life you're coming from, it's fast and it creeps up on you. And, you know, if you're not ready for that change, it'll hit you hard. Yeah. So
that's the big one.
I think a lot of what you said can really apply to all of our students here, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. You have to
take that advice.
At the end of the day, it's you have to dig yourself out of the hole and figure out how to get through it. And there's, you know, yes, you have a support system, but if you can't take the initial step, then there's no other way to pull you out of wherever you're at. And you have to change. You have to learn to go with the flow. I think that's the biggest thing. And there's so many, you know, economic changes and a lot of these political views and a lot of these things. And it's hard to separate and keep yourself focused on like, hey, like, what do you believe in? And keep with yourself, but still be mindful of like, hey, it wasn't, for me, it wasn't like 15 years ago. Like, I can't come into a classroom and be the way it is with my kids or my friends and my colleagues. And yeah, so I have to, you're always changing in who you talk to and how you present yourself. So.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I guess to change it up a bit, we have some fun rapid fire questions for you.
Let's go.
So number one, if you were stranded on an island desert, what celebrity would you bring to help?
Kim Kardashian.
Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
I love it.
You have to bear with me.
Yeah,
I thought
elaborate.
about this.
Okay. All right.
Someone will find Kim Kardashian. Like, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
someone is going to look for her.
That is
And if
true.
I'm with her, then they're going to find me.
There you go.
That is true. That
I
is
love
a
that.
really great answer.
And
Yeah.
she's going to have a fleet of planes, a fleet of boats, a fleet of cars. Somebody is going to find Kim Kardashian.
You're right. You
Yeah.
are right. You know what? And
Smart answer.
that didn't cross my mind. But that's
Yeah.
a really good answer.
I was like sitting there, I was like, yeah, duh. Like the most powerful woman, well, you know, not the most, but she's influential.
She's up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
She's up
like,
there.
yeah, I'm going to have her. Not just that.
That's great. All right. Number two, what's your favorite food?
I have this thing for mozzarella sticks.
Okay.
I love mozzarella sticks.
Oh, yeah.
We're actually on this hunt to find the best mozzarella stick in Philly, so I'll take any recommendation.
All right.
Have you?
We grate it on the cheese pool,
Okay.
marinara sauce,
Wow.
with
The dip.
breading, the dip,
The dip. Okay.
right? Mozzarella sticks.
Okay. Have any of them kind of hit that ballpark that you're looking for yet? Or are you still out there looking?
Pinocchios. I don't know if you have Pinocchios
Okay.
in
Oh,
media.
in media. Yeah.
They're up there. They have some really good.
Awesome.
All right,
good
listeners, stop
good
the
mozz,
stop the
right?
Pinocchios.
Yeah, this is
They're mozzarella
satisfy your
Yes.
mozzarella stick craving.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
It's changed over the years.
Okay.
I think now in my older times, my wiser moments, I want to be invisible.
Well, yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of layers that come with being invisible. You can sneak in on a conversation. You can also be not present in a
Yeah,
conversation.
Absolutely. If I
Yeah.
wanted to hide and I just don't want to deal with it,
Exactly.
I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
Or if I want to be in a room where I want to know what's happening.
But you don't want to be seen. It's a very diverse superpower.
Yes, it is.
Knowledge is power.
It's a
And
good
if
one.
they don't know, then you're gonna know.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So.
All right. And lastly, can you tell us a fun fact about yourself?
Oh, fun fact. I did think about this one too. It was quite a bit.
Well, if you got a couple, give us a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty. I have sailed around the world.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I have. I have across the equator and the prime meridian.
What?
That is, part of my accomplishments.
That's so cool.
Oh, I do nails, so I love nails, and
Oh.
everything beautician is me. I don't go to
wow,
anybody.
okay.
Lashes.
Oh, you do it all yourself?
all myself.
That's
wow.
amazing.
That's a skill.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is a skill. I think that being able to like do your own nails is the most underrated skill
It really is.
Ever.
Yeah, saves a lot of money.
That
Oh,
too.
it does.
Yes.
It does.
So that's. And I'm a homemaker. I had my dream was to learn how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich from scratch.
Wow.
From scratch.
Like the bread,
Like the
the-
bread, build the flour, roast the peanut, grow the berries, pick the berries, and me and my kids have fun doing little projects like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
I love that.
Have you made a peanut butter and jelly from
Yeah,
scratch?
the bread didn't come out as good as I thought it was
Okay.
going to be.
Okay.
But it did. It got to the point where it was
Okay.
that. Yeah.
So are you involved in the sourdough making and the sourdough starter?
Guilty. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
Wow.
It's
Okay.
Pookie. He's in the little fridge. We feed him every now and then whenever.
Oh my gosh, that's so
Yeah,
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's
great.
awesome. I have had homemade sourdough from the
So good.
and I have to admit, it's worth all the effort and the time. Once you go there, you can't go back.
It's good stuff.
It is good stuff. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Again. Yeah. And saves money. We eat a lot of bread in my house. So.
There you
And
go.
the pasta rolling, all the flour
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
And it's the experience too. It's appreciating the journey.
Yes, it's true. We always lie if there's an alien invasion or a zombie apocalypse. You can at least come to the grocery store. I can make you bread, and we have all the stuff,
There you
and
go.
we'll lock down the store. And there's the Navy experience with Oh, and I'm a sharpshooter. That was one too.
Wow.
Gosh,
You
dude,
are
you do it
full
all
of them.
That's insane.
In the Navy, I got my sharpshooter badge. So,
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
Wow. Is there anything you don't do?
The answer
I
is no.
don't do laundry. I hate laundry.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
There we go.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't fold
Yep.
clothes. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. I think that's okay.
That's valid.
Yeah.
That's so valid.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, Amanda, it has been a pleasure having you on the podcast today. We really enjoyed hearing your story and getting to talk to you. And I think you've offered some of our listeners some really great advice. I know I'm going to
Tons
take
of
away
advice.
a lot of this advice. It was really, really great
Absolutely.
getting to hear all about you and everything you do.
Thank you, guys.
And
Thanks,
we wish
Amanda.
you the best.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
This was fantastic. And, shout out to Professor Stanton. She's my advisor. She's been fantastic. And Professor Honer. Honer's definitely been a really big asset in my life. And so those two professors have won my heart here in Brandywine. So
Awesome.
it's all good.
You heard it here, guys.
Thanks,
Professors.
Amanda.
Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
Thank you
Guys.
so much.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. We are done chatting for today. This podcast was recorded in the Penn State Brandywine Makerspace Media Production Studio. We Are Chattin was made possible by Penn State Brandywine Strategic Communications and the Brandywine Launchbox. Remember to like this podcast and stream it on wherever you get your podcasts.